Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us today at the SAIEE corporate partner Rosatom's Smart Utilities webinar, where we're giving an African perspective. Before we start, a few webinar considerations. Attendees are reminded to ensure the volume is turned up on their device. Ensure you have a stable internet connection. This will ensure the streaming and audio will run smoothly. Attendees can ask questions via the questions panel located within the GoToWebinar control panel. By default, the control panel is located on the right-hand side of your screen. The chat function is reserved for webinar organizers and panelists to communicate with attendees. Attendees will not be able to chat with each other, however, are encouraged to ask questions. A recording of this webinar will be made available on the SAIEE YouTube channel, SAIEE TV. This channel is updated regularly, so ensure you check back as often as possible for new uploads. And please subscribe to our SAIEE TV channel. It's free. A certificate of attendance will be issued a few days after this webinar. Now, due to the CEO of Rusatom SA, Ryan Collier, couldn't be with us, unfortunately, today, but I'll just give a brief overview. The integration platform Smart City is designed to integrate diverse databases and information systems of a city or a region. It's a trusted solution ready for replication. The platform sets a unified standard for the integration of information systems and is the main tool for implementing a systematic approach to digital transformation. In recent years, Rusatom Smart Utilities, JSC, company of the State Corporation ROSATOM, has been successfully implementing digital products in 29 cities of the Russian Federation. The platform was originally developed for cities where nuclear industry enterprises locate in order to create a comfortable urban environment and improve a quality of life. The Clean Water project includes development of integrated solutions for water desalination, treatment and purification. Rosatom has engineering, scientific and production facilities and implements clean water projects in cities and industrial facilities in the Russian Federation. By managing our own assets, which is water utilities, wastewater treatment plants, we make decisions based on entire project life cycle, optimizing not only capital, but also operating costs and digitalization management processes. Rosatom is ready to jointly implement smart city and clean water projects with our organizations. Our specialists can start negotiations and can visit your city for consultations as well. I'd like to introduce you now to our first speaker today, Mr. Andrei Grinovich, who is the Head of International Affairs from Rusatom Utilities. Andrei graduated from City University London, Department of Mechanical Engineering and Automotive Technologies in 2021. He's responsible for communications between partners, current budget formation, customer interaction process, and formal project preparations. Andrei is experienced in the field of water treatment since 2016. He was actively involved in the development of a desalination project in Kazakhstan. He represents Rosatom in the water desalination industry in the International Atomic Energy Agency in Vienna. I'll hand you over now to Andrei.
Okay. Dear colleagues, thank you so much. So what I would like to show you today is a small, not even small, but okay, presentation about our projects, about smart city projects and product solutions that we implement in Russia. So I'm not really actually that young, so I didn't graduate from university in 2021. I graduated in 2012, I think. So yeah, talking about the projects, I was involved in different projects like smart cities, like clean water projects since this time. And well, this experience is a long way in Rosatom. So to introduce you who we actually are, our company, like Rusatom Smart Utilities, we have pretty stable revenue. We have more than 3,000 employees right now, and we control electric power in Russia, which is more than 900 megawatts an hour. So quite large ones. We also have 4 business areas that are smart city, clean water, power, heat supply, and concessions. And concessions is the centralization of resource supply system management for cities through the conclusion of concession agreements. This is pretty common in Europe. This is now pretty common in Russia. So basically, it's when like the businesses they come to city administrations and they ask them to run their own businesses like heat supply, water supply, energy supply, probably roads, probably lighting, and etc. And this may cause a greater effect on the city itself. So basically improving city's life, improving citizens' life, improving the city itself. And then the projects that are smart city, clean water, power, heat supply, they actually can be run also on concession agreements. But still, it's a bit different way to understand how businesses work. So for the smart city, and that is what I'm going to mostly talk today, it's the implementation of digital technologies in the cities, in the regions. The core solution for this, it's our Rusatom Smart City Basic Pro platform. As already mentioned by Minx, so basically it's the technology digital platform that can be used in different ways in different administrations to see how the city is, you know, how city live, how city does, and what the actual effect of different utilities are on the city. About the clean water, yes, we also, as a Rosatom, we have a really great experience in desalination and in water treatment, based on, again, nuclear power plants. So on nuclear power plants, you need to have a lot of water, and this water should be as clean as possible, without any impurities, without any different chemicals, so the nuclear power plant will run smoothly. Because as you know, all the nuclear power plants, they run, not all of them, but okay, most of them, I think 90% of them in the world run just on water. And water, it's the perfect source of heat distribution, heat supply for actual nuclear power plant. And this water should be really clean. So we have these technologies. We pretty much mastering this technology on our power plants, and we are trying to make the world outside nuclear power plants even the better place to live by utilizing our technologies in cities like near nuclear power plants. So the Rosatom Smart Utilities is a group of companies. It's a Rosatom division for urban and regional development. As you already understand, I was talking about it just now. So yes, we have quite good experience in digital projects. We have a great team of software developments. We have more than, I think, 100, yeah, I think we have more than 100 employees just for the software. So we have proven already solutions for modern IT security and cyber systems, also the architecture of the platform solutions. And we also provide training for our customers, or we provide maintenance, we provide technical support, and etc. for our project. So in the next session, I would like to just to show you what solutions we're trying to implement in different cities, and we're implementing them. It's the, yes, again, the platform, the active citizen platform, the lean smart city platform, the management of building and territories, the environment monitoring, the smart lighting, smart transport, and water utility systems that are digital. So the integration platform is basically, it looks like this. So what do you see and what the person who is working with it will see? So he will see just different numbers. He will see different layers of what is interested for the actual city. So probably it's the economics, probably that's municipal buildings, probably it's the social politics, probably it's the sports or what's happening with the roads, and etc. etc. And all this data is updated on time, live, so you can see how much, I don't know, energy or heat is supplied to the building, and you can understand what's happening to the building. Probably there are a lot of people, so you need to supply more electricity, you know, to cool this in the actual building down. Probably it's too hot and you can still need to cool down the building, and etc. So different ways to control, different ways of monitoring. Of course, this all just comes not as a platform, but it comes with software and hardware. And by hardware, what I mean is the actual sensors that are built into the system, that are all like they control all the inputs and outputs via the platform and live. So yeah, and implementation time, it's no more than actually 6 months. So we're dealing with the projects at around 4 to 6 months in Russia right now. So the solution structure is pretty vast. So it can be municipal government, it can be urban infrastructure, housing services and utilities, society and culture, urban areas and public transport, businesses, public security. So I'm not going to go into each detail, but all these projects are already implemented. We have quite a good experience on this one. So for transport, for public security, that's not a problem, because, you know, we have like in Rosatom cities in Russia, we have a lot of cameras, we have a lot of digitalization in terms of what is actually happening with the city, what's happening to the citizens, what happened to the police departments, and etc. 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 So it's a vast amount of projects. There are a lot of different ways to control, to understand how it works, and how it can be implemented in your particular city or region. So yeah, it's quite a lot. So the effects of integration of this platform, they're basically pretty much understandable. So you know, reduced integration time and costs, like of different things in the city itself. So basically, when administration wants to do something, they probably sometimes they will ask public opinion on what do you think about this, or what do you think about that. So this can be all done via the platform, because the platform is accessible through your mobile device, or it can be accessible through your computer, or any other different way of digital services. So yeah, for administration, there's a bit different ways to negotiate with the platform. But for the citizen, you understand, and you have to see what's happening to the city. And every single citizen, not every single, but okay, most of the citizens, they want to be involved in what they actually live in, and how they live. So they have their own platform, which is connected to the integrational platform of Rosatom, and this is an app in App Store, on Google or Google Play Store. You can just download it and see like what's happening in your city, like what do you actually want. And the administration actually asks this. So do you want, probably, I don't know, a new road, or you want a new playground for your children? So every single person can actually vote for what they want, and this is quite interesting solution, because it's simple, but still it provides the connection between people and between administrations. So this will result in reduced cost of urban operation, because you understand that, you know, spending budget and administration budget on some things that are not actually needed by the actual publicity, it's not really interesting. So there are different ways, you know, of interacting with your citizens, with the city, to reduce this costs. Also improving user convenience. So the personal area, you have your own login passwords, interconnection between city services, and this is all in one place. So the active citizen, as I already talked to you before. Basically, it's a platform which is integrated in our solution. And what it does, it basically provides the information about what is happening in the city right now. And if you want to vote for something, you can actually vote for this. If you are looking for something else, you can actually ask this question for administration. Like, look, like we're people who live in this area and we want something that is this, this, and this. Can we please, or can you provide this information and what is happening with this situation? And the administration will actually provide this information because they have ways already to interact with citizens. So again, the effects, they're pretty easy to understand. You know, you can just make a picture, you can upload this picture if you don't like something or you want something to be changed, and this will change. And seriously, this is working in all our cities that already implemented this solution, and everyone is happy. Administration is happy, and public opinion is happy, like everyone is happy. And we are also happy with the solution. So I'm not going to talk about, I think, this one because this is like specifically for Rosatom solutions. This is called, and sorry for the Russian because it can be properly translated, so I'll try to explain to you. So basically, this is a lean smart city, which is a mostly Rosatom solution. So it's not like, you know, like most of companies and most of software development companies are doing the lean smart city platforms. This is just really our way of making the lean smart city and LSC solution. So it's based on not only the problems with the IT, with the services, but it's not only, it concentrated also on the actual production, and production not in terms of the factory, but in terms of the actual administration or any other administrative building or municipality. So what I'm talking about, if we take administration and we can describe every single process like a factory process. It will be easier to understand, and it will be easier to affect the actual the whole process. It will be easier and it will be much quicker. So that's what we do. We have our own solution for this. We implemented already this project in, I think, 10 cities in Russia, and again, everyone is happy because the effects are pretty largely interesting and they're really quick. But in terms of solution, the implementation time, it could be from 1.5 months, and it can be even up to 1 year. It depends on the actual problem and how to solve this problem. So again, the effect of our platform, like the Lean Smart City. So the reduction of deadlines, this is pretty much, I think for myself, this is really good solution, because come on, for just reduce from 30 days to 8 days in just, you know, I think this project was in one city and it took us 5 months to implement. So in terms of the actual solution, it's really needable for every single, I think, administration and municipality that are still causing, you know, long ways to make the actual solution, to make the process. Okay, the residential safety and emergencies, like the rapid response process, in 10 times, more than 10 times, just the reduction on this one. Reduce labor costs as well in the municipality, which is again a great solution. The increased satisfaction of population relative to its, you know, grow by 5%, but I think it's even more right now. Just in terms of, you know, like people who actually live in the city, they will now probably understand the administration and how the administration works. And, you know, it's a good process. So yeah, this was done in Yuzhno-Sakhlinsk. It's one of the cities in Russia. It's far away from Moscow, on the other side actually of Moscow, on the different side of Russia. So yeah, we created like the first project was there, and it started like a couple of years ago. And as you can see, I'm not going to go through this, but all this done in just about, I think, no more than 1 year, and they already have you know, a good example of how the administration could work. And via QR code, you can actually see like the actual changes and the actual website for this one. So feel free to see how it works. So yeah, the next thing I want to talk to you is the management of buildings and territories. Again, we implemented this project in our company. We now implementing these projects in different companies in Russia, not only in Rosatom. So what I'm going to talk to you about is how to control the actual factory or the building or the small territory itself. So we have a solution, and we have a monitoring solution, we have the analysis solution, and we have the supply solution for this. By supply solution, I mean the actual hardware for this one. So we have a data processing center, which is connected to utility systems, to safety systems and services. So the safety systems, you understand, this just, you know, just cameras and services. These are digital services like web interfaces, like different computers, mobile apps, and etc. The utility systems are just normal systems like heat supply, power generation, cold water supply, hot water supply, etc., and lighting. So anything you can possibly think of. So this is all controlled by different sensors. And this is where the interesting thing goes. Because in Russia, a couple of years ago, actually not a couple of years ago, but probably 10 years ago, 15 years ago, all the lamps were like, you know, old technology lamps. They weren't really, you know, ecologically friendly, and they were not really cheap to run. So it's all changed, like in Moscow, in big cities, it's all changed a couple of years ago, with LEDs and with sensors. So now in different factories, different buildings in Russia, in our company, we have this. So when you just a small example, yeah, when you open the door, the lights just go on, and when you close the door, the lights go off. So you know, you will reduce your bill for your electricity. Now, this is not really, you know, difficult to understand or difficult to control, but still we actually provide not only solution for lamps or for sensors, we provide a solution for all the management for all the buildings on the territory. So yes, reduce operating costs. This is the main thing that I'm going to talk to right now. So you're reducing the costs on every single utility you have inside your platform. So this can be heat again, water again, you know, lights, and etc. So how it works? Basically, you have base stations, you have sensors, and you have different counters, and all these counters are connected to the server, and the server then it supply data for your desktop or your mobile phone app, and for the system which is analyzing the actual solution and how it works for every single time being. So the wireless network in Russia that we established provide the wireless network for 10 kilometers. That's yeah, that's approximately like this. And this all connected via LoRaWAN, and it's all done, you know, with Russian companies. So for heat supply, for water supply, and power supply, we provide a platform which is done by our company. It's SAIEE platform for data process and analysis. It's all run by LoRaWAN with 3G or 4G, with also industrial protocols. So on the left side of the screen, you can see the data monitoring system, like the small one, the metering, and the actual Wi-Fi module that is connected to the actual system, which is called LP1. So the same thing we're providing for the air quality sensors, the water quality sensors, environment quality sensors. This is again same platform, same data analysis, and it's all in one place. So for smart city lighting, same principle. It does everything that all before projects done. It's just a platform, the data processing and analysis via LoRaWAN, via 3G, 4G, and with industrial protocols. And this is how it looks like. This is just an interface. On the left side, you can see the interface for mobile app and the web interface for the city management, for the city's management app. So pretty easy to understand, how it works. Sorry, it's again being Russian, but it's easily understandable. You can choose the different ways how it works. You can switch it off, you can switch it on, you can see like, you know, where like people go, like who is on the street via webcams, and you can switch off the lights, or the system itself in the proper automatic mode can switch it on itself or off depending on what's happening outside. Same for accounting. So this is a interface example of how the accounting looks like. Saying for the heat, for water, for energy, so for every system that needs to be built, it's already in your pocket. So the next system that we already also implemented, that's a smart transport. It's our own solution of Rusatom Smart Utilities. Okay, so it can be implemented in up to 8 months, because mostly on the roads there are already cameras. The traffic is known by Google Maps, so that's not a problem. But what we do is we actually rewrite the transport routes for the buses, for city administration transport, for probably taxis, probably other transport in the city. So to reduce, again, the number of buses, to reduce and optimize the number of road accidents, to optimize the public transportation passengers, and etc. Also, what we provide is the digital water utility system. That is one of the way of our platform. So, but this platform is just for municipal water water piping. This is how it looks like. So the solution, the structure, on the left side, you can see the SCADA, the operation resource accounting, the logging, and so basically it's called dispatching system. And on the right side, you have the IT infrastructure, safety, transport, etc. And in the middle of the diagram, in the circle, in the blue circle, you can see it's basically the control administration where everything is controlled. So it's the management, it's the sales, and etc. And basically this is our structure of this solution. So what are the effects? The effects are really, again, basic, all understandable. It's the reduced network losses, reduced time to damage repairs, reduce energy costs, response time, employee labor costs, reduce personal costs. So this is what I was talking about today. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me via the email which is given below. Or if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me.
Thank you very much, Andre. Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO of Rosatom SA happened to join us. I'll quickly introduce you before he says a few words. Mr. Ryan Collier, he's joined the Rosatom Africa in October 2014 with the task of promoting the Rosatom brand as well as driving public awareness of nuclear in the region. Since then, he has been advanced to a progressively more responsible position of CEO of the company. He boasts a wealth of experience in commercial and technical communications as well as strategic business development. Over to you, Ryan. Ryan, if you can, yes, thank you.
Thanks, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, thank you.
Super, thank you so much. Apologies for being late. I was caught on another meeting earlier. I just want to say again, Minx and SAIEE, thank you so much for the opportunities to discuss our innovative solutions. I know that my colleague Andre has already taken you through everything, but I just wanted to say from our side here in Sub-Saharan Africa, we have an office based in Sandton City. So that's Rosatom Central and Southern Africa. So if anyone online would like to get in touch with us regarding any of these solutions, please do. Minx, please post our contact details, and I just urge anyone that would like to come and chat to us about these solutions to do so. Other than that, there's not much more I can say. I mean, my colleague has already taken you through the entire presentation. So yeah, just we're here to support, and we are ready to begin discussions. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you very much for joining us today, Ryan. I will add the contact details in the chat box to all attendees. You're welcome to copy and paste that if you want to get hold of Rosatom in Sandton. Thank you. I'd like to introduce you now. Great, thank you. I'd like to introduce you now to our next speaker that gives the African overview, Mr. Esrom Maglatsi. He's an advisor to the South African government. Esrom received his master's degree from University of Pretoria, South Africa in 2013. He is currently pursuing a PhD degree at University of Johannesburg, South Africa, and he holds a position of a lecturer at the same university. His research interests are in the fields of power systems, optimization, smart grids, stochastic programming, electricity markets, and transactive energy. I'll hand you now over to Esrom.
Morning, everyone. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we can. Thank you.
My name is Esrom Maglatsi, as Min said. I'm also a chairperson for SAIEE Power Section, and I will encourage you guys to join us. And then we've got a lot of programs going on. Thank you. What I want to do, I want to also talk about the whole idea of a smart city, but I'm going to make an example from what we call, a smart campus, looking at an African point of view. So later on, you would see that how the whole topic ties into the smart city. But before I continue, I just want to say I thank Andre for the presentation, and also just want to say thank you to Ryan for actually making this webinar possible. And yeah, surely you will get a lot of people visiting your office discussing this interesting topic further. Okay. So I will have an introduction, a methodology of developing a smart campus, how to build a smart city using smart structures, role of the city, and then I'll conclude. So my introduction, I want to mention that the management of large students at universities becomes one of the biggest challenges. And a good solution to these issues is the application of a smart concept to a university and the new idea called a smart campus. I think Andre spoke about small territories. I think the smart campus will fit into the small territory. The idea is based on the deep knowledge of the area and the consequential choice of suitable actions. And then the idea of creating a smart campus came from the idea of a smart city, which can be associated with the smart campus. The smart city model can be scaled and adapted in order to create a smart campus, but we'll also later on show how this becomes a building block of a smart city. And I'm glad that with the solution that Andre has presented, that can work well for smart campuses. There are some requirements for building smart campuses in cities. You need a clear vision, proper and advanced infrastructure, utilization of technology, and a skilled workforce. Like I said, I think like your infrastructure from Rosatom seems to be efficient for all these smart campuses. In general, campuses have a upper edge to smart cities in the sense that campuses have a skilled workforce and advanced infrastructure as compared to cities. That's also a challenge in Africa, maybe compared to Europe or just maybe the Western world. Like in the Western world, a lot of people are educated. They find it easy to interact with smart system. So in Africa, it's still, we're still lacking. So for example, an idea of smart education to bridge that gap will also be needed. There are a lot of technological components that are associated with smart campus. It's, for example, like your smart social media and smart cards. Here we were just trying to show that you look at the city, and then on the left is the city, that's the Johannesburg, and then on the right is the campus. This is a UJ campus, also in Johannesburg. So we are trying to look at the campus as a small city, so that whatever solution that you need to give for a smart city, you can actually give for a smart campus. And that's like, we can refer it as, if we want to follow what Andre was saying, we can say that's a small territory. So there are characteristics and indices of this smart campuses or smart cities. You need smart governance. You need smart people. Smart people, I'm not literally, I mean smart meaning the people who can interact with the smart environment. So it's got nothing to do with intellectual capabilities. And then you need also smart mobility. By having an efficient traffic flow on its own, you are already lowering the carbon emission of these cars. But mostly smart mobility will talk about things that are carbon neutral. Smart living, you need a smart economy, and then you also need to promote a smart environment. This is for both the smart city and a smart campus. So this is just a picture of different element of a smart campus. If you can look closely, Andre already touched on some of these things in terms of infrastructure that's needed, infrastructure that they already have. Okay, the methodology of developing a smart campus, we said you just take the model of the city and then you adapt it to a campus. So a campus will be a small scale of the bigger city. So we're gonna use the KPIs and the characteristics of the smart cities for a smart campus. So here on a smart campus, how do you develop a smart campus? You need a planning, you need to have a characterization and a KPI. So a KPI, it just means how are you gonna say a campus is smart? What determines for a campus to say that the campus is smart? This is the same with the smart city. What do you end up saying? Okay, Joburg City, it's a smart city. Cape Town, it's a smart city. So that means they need to be KPI. So we need to look at certain things so that we can say, okay, this qualifies to be a smart city. And if the city doesn't comply with those KPIs, now the city knows that, okay, we need to improve here and here and here so that we can be considered a smart city. How do you do that? We need data collection just to see where data collection and data analysis just to see where the campus is lacking. So that we can actually improve it. So after that, you're gonna score the KPIs. This is when basically you're going to decide whether the campus is smart or the campus is not smart. Like for example, in South Africa, we don't really have these KPIs to say. We cannot say a campus is smart. We cannot say maybe UJ is a smart campus, VET has got a smart campus, or CSIR is a smart campus. Because when we look at campus here now, even though we use an example of a university, a campus is not necessarily a university. Like your CSIR is a campus. I think MTN, they've got a campus. I think FNB, they've got a campus. So those buildings, we can call them campuses. Here, so we said we need smart people. So smart people, I said, is the people that can interact with the smart environment. And then we need smart living, smart economy, smart education. Specifically in Africa, we'll need that smart education. Like I said, we need to bridge the gap of people that don't interact, like with the for example, there are people with smartphones that are not on WhatsApp or any social media. I'm not saying they must be, but it's because they don't see any use. But I think that's the gap. Like for example, there are new, like your e-mobility. Very few people use this. That. Like all the banks, for example, they've got apps, but people still go to the banks. So you need, like, maybe create an awareness that smart education can also be seen as an awareness of some sort, because without that, we're gonna also face some challenges. So we can have a smart system in a city. The city can be smart, but if the people cannot interact with that smart environment, then everything will just go to waste. Okay, so obviously one big thing when you're talking about smart campuses is there's the technology element of it. So you will need an infrastructure that can actually enable you to run this campus as a smart campus. And like I think in the previous presentation by Andre, he showed the infrastructure as like he's ready. They've got infrastructure. They've already done this thing, which is a very, very, very good thing for me, because I feel like I'll be talking with them further regarding how can you deploy that technology to a campus setting. So I gave the smart campus as just an example. The reason why I gave that, because we did an analysis and realized what was the best way actually to develop a smart city. So we realized that you need to develop a smart city in terms of blocks. Like for example, currently when we talk about a smart city, it will be the city, like for example, the city of Joburg will be running that because they want to have a smart city. But we looked at it that's going to take a lot of time and a lot of resources that the city of Joburg might not have. And that will be put the whole idea of smart city at risk, because if the city in itself cannot have the budget and the manpower to do that, then we're going to have a problem. So we realized that the best way is actually to deal this with blocks which are called structures. So like the first important structure of the smart city will be the smart individual. These are the smart people. So the people must be aware of the smart environment. They must be able to interact with the environment. So the city, that's where they need to invest in some sort of a smart education or smart awareness. Secondly, I can say we need to look at smart utilities. So for example, you've got rainwater and city power. So these two, if you can make these two smart, so you are already on a journey to become a smart city, because the whole idea of us seeing a smart city is that you need to make individual structure smart, and if you do that, then the city will automatically become smart. So you need to work from ground up instead of top down. So you're gonna have smart utilities, which will be your city power, your rainwater. This is if you are looking at Joburg. Other cities, they've got different structures, and then you need to make have smart campuses. So you make your universities, your non-educational campus to be smart. So if those are smart, now you've got utilities that are smart, you've got campuses that are smart. Now you have hospitals that are smart. So you make smart hospitals, public and private. You also have smart post offices, and then you have like a smart government. So smart government, it will be places like Home Affairs. If you've been to Home Affairs in the country, you know like how difficult it can be to go through the whole Home Affairs. Licensing department is one of them, and there are also a lot of government institutions that are very, you know, yeah, like the services, like the level of service, it's not where it's supposed to be, and that can benefit a lot from you know, smart solutions. And then there are other many more that I would want you guys to think, like maybe send me an email and say, also look at that. Like I personally am looking, currently where I'm looking at smart campuses. So we will probably have people that you know, look at smart hospitals, smart post offices, smart government, smart utilities, and other things that you will add. And also, I mean, I will also invite Rosatom to actually like provide like some sort of you know, presentation on how can we get our campus smart. What do they have in terms of smart campuses, smart hospitals, smart solutions? But based on what they presented, I just think it's something that they have. Maybe it's there, like for example, like I said, the small territory seems like it can fit well into all of this. So for us, this is the only proper way of realizing a smart campus in Africa. Because, for example, if you look at if you look to realize a smart city in Africa, it's like to go through these small elements, small structures. So if you look at smart campus, the city won't get involved in that, because the campus they run with their own finances. The hospitals, the city don't get involved. Smart post office, the city don't get involved. Smart government, the city doesn't get involved. So, but now if you look at it like this, you can see that we are creating a sustainable path for the development of smart city, because that means the city won't need some huge budgets to actually create a smart city. So that brings me to my conclusion, or what is then the role of the city then in the whole smart city framework. The city must be a coordinator. So the city must make sure that the university is smart, the hospitals are smart, the government department are smart. That's what the role that the city must play. I left other things where the city need to directly be involved, like I saw a solution like smart transport. So smart transport, the city will need to be involved, because that's their responsibility, for example, in the city. And there are also other departments that are strictly to the city, and the city needs to work on those. But the rest that are not part of the city must just play a coordinating role, that, okay guys, let's do this, let's do that. So for example, like that means moving forward, if the city has a meeting about like smart cities, or maybe a platform where they discuss smart cities. They cannot discuss smart cities if the universities are not there, if the hospitals are not there, if government departments are not there, because they need those guys to play an active role, because that's the only way that we're going to realize a sustainable smart city in Africa. Because the city of Joburg, city of Pretoria, and probably Cape Town, I don't think they've got the budget on their own to actually have this dream of smart city to be a reality. But with the help of other individual players, which I call the smart structures, then we can definitely have something sustainable. So that's what I wanted to share, and I feel it fits well with what Rosatom was actually presenting, because like now, the next thing is to ask Rosatom, what do you have for smart hospital? Do you have something for smart hospital? Do you have something for smart post office? Do you have something for smart campus? Which for smart campus, like looking at the previous presentation, I think there is definitely something there. Utilities as well, actually that's the utilities they also have. So I think maybe we'll also just need to take this conversation forward, probably with the city, with Rosatom, and also other different players. And I think from SAIEE we can facilitate such. We will be gladly to facilitate such talks or such forums. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Esrom. I encourage all attendees to share with us any questions you have. I don't see any questions in the questions panel yet. There's no questions, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Yes.
So, sorry, can I ask Andre?
Yes, of course.
Hi, Andre. I just wanted to find out, I know you touch on a lot of things, like in terms of the things that I've already mentioned, like your smart hospitals, smart post office, things like that. What solutions do you have? Is something that you've already done, probably maybe in one of the cities in Russia, or is something that is on the pipeline? Thank you.
Can you please confirm that you're asking for the post office and for the hospitals, right?
Yes.
Actually, no, we're not looking for this. We're looking for, in terms of the administration and the region. So we're looking not only for, for municipal like buildings, but we're looking for the complexes of municipal buildings. So even if it will be hospital, or even it will be the post office, yes, we can provide some solutions, especially for the electricity supply, heat supply, water supply, etc. Also for the utilities, yes. So for every single utility, yes, we have a solution for this. But in terms of the actual post service or the actual hospital service, no, we don't have this.
Okay, and then campuses like university will also be the same. So you have, like, you can do the utilities and so forth.
Yes, we can write some kind of an app, so we know, how many people are inside the actual university building, etc. So yes, we can do this.
Okay, no, that's great. Okay, means that's what I wanted to know. I think I will just be in touch with Andre, and then.
Okay,
absolutely.
Esrom, you're welcome to come through to our office as well, and we can have a further discussion. It was a very interesting presentation. Thank you very much.
Now I'll do that, Ryan. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, gentlemen. But I think I'll also add to the mix between Ryan and Esrom, add Professor Pat Naidu, who is the City of Johannesburg Research Chair on Green Economy and Innovations. And I think Esrom knows Prof. Naidu, so does Ryan, and I think we can actually organize a good collaboration to start the process of making Johannesburg a smart city. Thank you very much. I don't see any other questions for our thingies from our attendees. Thank you all for joining us. Andre, thank you very much for availing your time to do your very interesting presentation to our attendees and to myself and the SAIEE team. Ryan, thank you for joining us as the CEO. I know that you're a very busy man, but thank you for giving us a few minutes. And lastly, but not least, Esram, thank you for availing your time and giving this presentation to our attendees. I'd like to have received the PDFs of your presentation so we can upload it on the SAIEE website. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for us for today. Thank you for joining us and look out for our future webinars, especially from Rosatom. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.